Typically, the education debate in Columbus revolves around a topic such as school funding, for example. But this year, Republicans in the State House, they put the spotlight on diversity, equity, and inclusion. Back in late March, Governor Mike DeWine signed into law Senate Bill 1, which bans diversity, equity, and inclusion activities in the state's public colleges and universities. But new legislation, introduced by State Senator Andrew Brenner, aims to do the same in the state's K-12 schools. I spoke to senior reporter for the Statehouse News Bureau, Jo Ingles, for the rundown on Senate Bill 113.
DEI eliminated in the public universities. So now lawmakers are wanting to extend that down to the elementary, middle, and high school levels. It would basically be the same thing, eliminate diversity, equity, and inclusion. It would not allow it in hiring. It wouldn't allow it in coursework. The same way that it doesn't allow it at the public universities.
Is there any reason why lawmakers are approaching K-12 separately from colleges and universities?
Well, they just started with colleges and universities and got that through. So the logical, next step is to come to the lower grades. And it's also governed differently. Colleges and universities, the way that they're set up is different than Ohio's middle and elementary and high schools.
Is there anything in particular that you would say really pushed lawmakers to make this a priority in K-12 education? Was there a specific incident or a specific trend that they're observing and then picking up on?
Well, DEI or banning DEI has been a big national trend. It's kind of buzzwords. A lot of Republicans find that when they talk about banning DEI, that their base loves it. It's kind of red meat. It's one of the things that we see coming out of the Trump administration through executive orders. He has banned DEI in several places. And so it has a political element to it in that banning DEI is kind of something that Republicans in particular see as something they need to do. I think the other part of it is that it's a widely misunderstood in some ways kind of thing. Because if you ask people what banning DEI means, you'll get different answers from different people. So it's something that can be put out there, that can be done, but it's hard as far as defining it. It's really hard to figure out now, if I do this, is it DEI? Or if I do this, is it DEI? It's trying to figure out those terms can be very difficult.
The legislator who introduced the legislation, he made the argument that DEI was discrimination. Is that a popular argument?
Some people think it is a form of discrimination because they see DEI as giving an advantage to people who are different. Because they might be have a different color skin, or they might have a different background, or they might have something about them may be different than the norm, and they feel like it is kind of giving someone an advantage because of who they are, and they feel like it should be equal. There's also, I think who you're speaking of is Senator Andrew Brenner, who is the head of the Education Committee in the Senate. And he has said that, there's also this element of people, the us and the them kind of thing, where people say, well, we don't understand, why someone takes offense at this and it makes us feel bad and that kind of thing. So he hears that from people. And he just, they think that having DEI in the classroom or in the schools really kind of lowers the bar for everyone.
The primary argument that was made against Senate Bill 1 was that there were definitely concerns about course material, what would be able to be taught in classrooms, and how they would navigate complying with Senate Bill 1. We're seeing a similar concern here with SB 113, in which educational institutions, there's certainly going to be some confusion amongst their educators on how to approach it, and of course students who don't want certain things to be left out of their education. And so how are the opponents on this new bill approaching it?
Well, kind of the way the universities are, this bill, it really, people have a lot of questions about it when they're trying to implement it. Liz Kirby, who is the superintendent of Cleveland Heights, University Heights School District, she says that they have all these students from different backgrounds and that it's hard to get on the same page without having some training so that you can understand those backgrounds, so that you can deal with those students. And I think that's probably something that could be considered DEI, is to have that kind of training. But she's saying it's absolutely essential when you've got a diverse student body and diverse employees to be able to understand each other and why people do the things they do or how they interpret things differently. So there's that. And then there's also some of the students I talked with, some of their favorite classes were things that they feared could fall under DEI, like the Holocaust, for example. They thought that could be something that could be affected by DEI, and they think it's important to learn about those things, to learn about history, even though it may not reflect well on some people, and maybe people feel bad about it, but that they feel like that's history and it should be taught.
Reporting in Toledo, Ohio, I'm Jaden Jefferson.